I used to believe the best exercise was the one that looked the most impressive, the kind you post online, heavy weights, fast sprints, sweat dripping like proof of worth. I chased exhaustion like it was a badge of honor, convinced that if I wasn't broken at the end, it didn't count. Then my body quietly disagreed. It didn't happen all at once. It started with stiffness that lingered longer than it should have, a knee that complained when I stood up, a tightness in my chest that made me pause mid-workout, pretending I just needed water. I was still young enough to ignore it, but old enough to feel it. One morning, after another night of poor sleep and another rushed workout, I caught my reflection in the gym mirror. I looked strong, sure, but I didn't look well. My eyes were tired, my shoulders were tense, my breathing was shallow, like my body was always bracing for something. That's when a quiet thought crept in. What if the best exercise isn't the hardest one? A few days later, I skipped the gym. Not out of laziness, but curiosity. I went for a walk instead. No headphones, no timer, just shoes on pavement and air in my lungs. At first, my mind fought it. This doesn't count. You're wasting time. You should be pushing harder. But after 10 minutes, something shifted. My breathing slowed. My shoulders dropped. I noticed things I usually rushed past. The way sunlight filtered through trees. The rhythm of my steps. The sound of my own breath syncing with my movement. My heart rate rose gently, not violently. My body felt cooperative. That walk didn't leave me exhausted. It left me clear. I started doing it again. Sometimes short, sometimes long. Some days fast, other days slow. And I noticed something strange. My joints hurt less. I slept better. My mood stabilized. The fog in my head lifted in a way no intense workout had ever done. It wasn't just physical. It felt like my nervous system was finally being invited instead of attacked. I began to understand something most fitness advice doesn't emphasize enough. The body doesn't just need stress. It needs rhythm, consistency, safety. Health isn't built by punishment. It's built by trust. As weeks passed, I added gentle strength work. Not chasing personal records, but focusing on control. Full range of motion, balanced muscles. I stopped asking, how much can I lift? And started asking, can I do this pain-free for the next 20 years? That question changes everything. Longevity doesn't care about your ego. It cares about your joints, your heart, your lungs, your ability to move without fear. It cares about whether you can get up from the floor easily, whether you can carry groceries without strain, whether you can walk long distances without needing recovery days. The best exercise, I realized, is the one you can do tomorrow, and the next day, and 10 years from now. It's the one that supports your life instead of competing with it. Movement that feels sustainable becomes medicine. Walking, cycling, swimming, controlled strength training, mobility work. Things that raise your heart rate without wrecking your recovery. Things that leave you energized instead of depleted. I also noticed how movement changed my mind. On days I moved gently but consistently, my patience improved. My reactions softened. I handled stress better. It was as if my body was telling my brain, we're safe. You can relax. That safety is powerful. Chronic stress ages us faster than almost anything else. Exercise that constantly spikes stress hormones without enough recovery can quietly work against longevity. even if it looks productive on the surface. I'm not saying intensity is bad. It has its place. But intensity without intention is just noise. The best exercise isn't defined by sweat alone. It's defined by how it supports your sleep, your mood, your posture, your energy, your future self. Now, when people ask me what the best exercise is, I don't name a specific movement. I tell them this: the best exercise is the one that makes you feel more alive when you're done, not less. The one that strengthens your body while calming your mind, the one you don't dread. The one that fits into your life instead of taking it over. Because fitness isn't about looking strong for a moment. It's about staying capable for a lifetime. And longevity isn't built in extremes. It's built in daily, quiet choices. One step, one breath, one movement at a time. That realization changed the way I approached every part of my life. Not just exercise. I stopped treating movement like a test I had to pass and started treating it like a conversation with my body. Some days, it asked for effort. Other days, it asked for patience. And when I listened, it rewarded me in ways no aggressive routine ever had. I began my mornings with simple mobility, rolling my shoulders, opening my hips, letting my spine move the way it was designed to. No music blaring, no clock chasing me, just a few minutes of attention. Those few minutes set the tone for the entire day. I stood taller, I breathed deeper, I felt present in my own skin. Then came the walks again. Not because they were easy, but because they were honest. Walking demanded nothing but consistency. It didn't care about my excuses or my motivation level. It just asked me to show up. And when I did, it gave me clarity. Problems that felt heavy indoors seemed smaller under an open sky. Over time, I noticed something else. My strength didn't disappear. It improved. My balance got better. My coordination sharpened. I could lift, push, and carry with more control than before. It turns out strength built slowly tends to stay longer. My heart, too, adapted. Instead of constant spikes and crashes, my endurance grew steady. I could move longer without gasping. My resting heart rate dropped. Recovery became faster. These weren't dramatic changes you post online. They were quiet upgrades that made daily life easier. Longevity lives in those quiet upgrades. I thought about the people I admired most, the ones still active in their later years. They weren't the ones who chased extremes. They were the ones who moved daily, laughed often, and respected their limits without being ruled by them. They understood that the body keeps score, so I adjusted my goals. Instead of asking how much progress I could make in 30 days, I asked how sustainable my habits were for 30 years. Instead of measuring success by soreness, I measured it by how I felt when I woke up. Pain stopped being something I ignored and became something I listened to. Rest stopped feeling like weakness and started feeling like strategy. And movement stopped being a chore and became a privilege. The best exercise, I learned, isn't about perfection. It's about participation. Showing up even when you don't feel like it. Moving in ways that respect your age, your history, and your future. Because the real reward of fitness isn't a physique. It's independence. It's being able to live without asking your body for permission every time you want to move. One day, this body will slow down. That's inevitable. But how well it slows down is a choice I'm making right now, with every step, every stretch, every mindful breath. So I keep moving, not to punish myself, not to prove anything, but to honor the fact that I can. And that, more than any trend or routine, is the exercise that lasts.